Welcome back to the Titanium Hanger. This is Mike. Today I want to talk to you about Voltron number 2, the missing Voltron, the one that very few people know about. And it is very hard to get one complete, unbroken, for a good price. And so with that, let's take a look at this guy. Voltron 2 is definitely outside of mainstream consciousness. I've collected for decades Voltron 1 and Voltron 3 and the Dairuger, the Lion Bots, but this is only something I've dabbled in the past years, and it's been very challenging. Now, the idea behind this is completely different than any of the other Voltrons, other than the fact they do combine, but they combine in a different way, and they operate in a different way, but it's still really cool. It's kind of fun, so let's get and take a look at Voltron II, the Gladiator that most people don't know about. Coming up. There is a Japanese anime show, Lightspeed Electroid Albagus, that I don't think it ever got dubbed to the US into English, and with that, it's not something that I'm really going to be watching. I kind of watch an episode and just check it out, see the whole premise of it in a way, but it looks like fun. It could be a great series. Wish there was a way to watch it dubbed in English. I really don't want to watch subs and all that kind of stuff with it, but evidently these kids get these robots and figure out how to make them combine and all that, and fight bad guys. I mean, that's the premise of it in a way. Again, I would like to see an English dub, and I don't think anybody anywhere thinks it's worth the time, money, and effort to do that. Now, the three individual bots do have names of like Alpha, Beta, Gamma.
Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta, Epsilon, Zeta, Eta, Theta, Iota, Kappa, Lambda, Mu, Nu, Xi, Omicron, Pi, Rho, Sigma, Tau, Epsilon, Phi, Chi, Psi, Omega.
The Greek alphabet. That's not something I expected to have on these figures here, but anyway, it's kind of fun and interesting with these individual bots. Now, they are slightly different. Now, although they do use shared parts, the legs seem to be similar with the engineering, the whole engineering behind it, but they are different molds. So, like, they all have different feet, they all have different thigh pieces, they have different, just different waist pieces, different chests, different heads. The arms seem to be all exactly the same, though. I don't see any differentiation in the arms, except cast in different colors. And so swapping parts is a challenge. And although I successfully have done it quite a bit, but, you know, swapping parts between different color ones is not something you'd want to be able to do other than probably the arms. So anyway, with that, it's interesting that they gave us so many different looks, but yet, at a glance, they all look exactly the same. All right, so I'm going to showcase this one here and show everything I know that it does, which I'm still confused about a few things because I've seen some other people who have, like, buttons right here, as if the fists would fly off or something. And then you see missing fists on some arms and stuff. But anyway, you got a head that doesn't move, or I don't know if mine are just glued or whatever. And then you have these come out because obviously, and they'll go all the way to the back. So you can put some of them in the back in the combine mode. But this kind of reverse butterfly that they got going on is to clean it up in transformation. And you can also use it for posing and stuff. I mean, that works. And then you clip them back in. These little tiny little yellow buttons on the top are what release it. And then you can pull the whole arms and you will be able to transform or convert the guy. Let's see here. You have articulation right here. You do have bicep swivel. You have a 90 right there, and nothing really in the fist. Again, I'm still a little confused. There might be a couple versions, some that fire, some that don't, because I've seen some with the yellow buttons. But again, still I'm not an expert on this. I just bought some as cheap as I could and am looking at them. So that's pretty much what's going on here. Now we have legs, and you can slide these leg connectors out and slide them back in. Legs connect on the bottom with this here. So that's how that works. and legs connect to other legs via this here. Now you can slide another leg in just like we slid this. So I guess I can showcase that. Slide another leg into here on the bottom. Obviously you've got a left and a right leg, so that's just how it works. And then if you wanted to do two legs, you would slide this all the way to the front. One leg would clip to here, reverse, flip it around, the other leg would clip into that piece. But that's how all that works. Now, a lot of the stuff does break, and the blue one is the most fragile, but in all reality here, the black one and the red one still do break. I mean, it's not like those are unbreakable. It's just the blue one is so fragile, it shatters with almost no use. And by the way, just barely handling them, I got another flake of blue off my, which is why blue is not going to get a whole lot of use. Not a lot of airtime in here because mine are not in the best shape and they keep wanting to chip away at it. But with that, now, how does this transform? Let's get this red guy over here. And really, if you think about it, there's no limit to how many. Slide that off and then slide this off. How high you can go, how many of these you can stack together. Obviously, more than 3 is kind of a waste, but take 2. You want to make sure that the shoulders are all the way out, the hips are in, and then you're going to fold this gray piece up as you slide it up slowly, and then you clip that up all the way. Then you can control all this right here. So you want to open up the hips and you want to open up the shoulders when you combine onto another robot. And then you can push them together. And then if you want to get the arms out of the way, you can clip that, put that back. We'll have to go up here. And then you can push this, get it back out of the way. So this is how it combines. More than likely, you'll want the arms on the top. I mean, it's all up to you how you want to do it. And then once it's like that, you can tuck the arms around like so. And just get them out of the way there. And then you can have some arms down here. So this is the whole way it combines. And then you would combine the legs. Now, one of the things about the legs, and I've already kind of shown how you combine the legs, but they have these pieces right here to lock it in up or down mode. So you'll want it in the down mode when you are combining them, because that's just kind of how it works. So you do that with this, combine them, get it all together, and then you'll get what we're about to look at. So that's kind of how that works. Right now for the main course, the reason we are all here is to see it in combined mode. Now we're going to do a couple of things with the combined mode, but as you can see, I've got all 3 sets of arms out and about and available for use there. There's all 3 torsos piled up. I sandwiched the blue one in the middle because of reasons. I think that's actually how it's supposed to be, but I think it's more protected like this. It doesn't have to have the extreme of connecting to hold all this on. So if all this whole thing was counting on the blue one for the waist, it breaks easy. So if you're counting on the top part, I guess it might have been an okay top one. But anyway, let's kind of turn them around, slide around a little bit here, and we can do some different configurations to them. Might have the blue legs on backwards. I think I do. Yeah, I think I have the blue legs on backwards. But they're in the back anyway, so who cares? They would have a little side piece there. Notice when it's combined how it looks. You got all 3 of the different mechanisms. I think the mechanism that's actually exactly the same on all 3 also. Now, one of the things you can do if you want to, and I'm not going to do it with the blue arms, but with the red one, you can bring the arms to the back like I've shown. And I would think it would look better if you turned it around like that and hide those arms. That's the thing. And then when you get this guy turned back around, you're only going to have 2 sets of arms. And so that's how it looks combined. And again, I did combine this, buying a bunch of ones as cheap as I could. And so that's kind of what I've got with mine here. So mine's not perfect, pristine. Yes, this one still has some broken pieces to it, but good enough for me on my shelf. So, I mean, that's kind of how we have to collect. Good enough. I certainly didn't spend $600 or $800, closer to like $350, $370 for all this, but pretty happy with my result with getting this and where I've ended up. Now, with it being combined, there's not much more you can really do. You can move the arms in and out. You can adjust the arms and stuff. That's it. At this point, you've got a brick with arms. Not the funnest toy, but at the same time, it's still kind of ominous. Like, if you had your Captain Power figures or Robotech figures going up against this, it's an ominous character. It's a big dude. So, just as a kid, having another big Voltron-ish would have been fun, even not knowing the lore, but I bet very few kids bit on this, bought this, wanted this, asked for it for Christmas. I bet you actually some kids might have got this for Christmas and loved it. Some kids might have got this for Christmas and felt shafted, like I wanted the lions. But I mean, if you already had the lions and got this, then that'd be pretty cool too. Right, so this is the comparison that I think everybody wants to see, and I'm going to try to go a little higher, take it back a little bit. And here's the thing, here's the deal. Since it does come with 3 sets of legs, and they're all connectable, then it's possible to do this. Now, it's not very stable at all, because the taller he gets, and yeah, but it's more stable if you do it the other way, where you have the 2 legs, 2 lower leg sets on it, but it's possible. So that's how you could display it. Now, for this shot, I'm actually kind of using the other 2 Voltrons to stabilize him so that he doesn't fall. That'd be terrible if he fell, but as you can see, you can get him up that much higher. We'll look at them in different size configurations. Now, here he is next to Panache Place, and if you wanted your display to look like this, if you want all your Voltrons to be about the same size, still not going to be about the same size, but like I said, you can cheat. You could really cheat and get another set of legs if you choose, but I would not go any taller than this with this figure. Yeah, I'm already pushing the limits. Definitely. Here he is in his more standard, stable configuration. Probably how I'm going to display him. Probably, because just for safety purposes and reasons, and you know, breakage is already sucking. It sucks when it breaks, but yeah, it is definitely significantly smaller than the other 2, and it's its own thing. It's in its own world. If only we had a TV show or a movie or cartoon or something to showcase that world, but it's okay. We've got shows for the other 2, and we'll just fill in the gap with our imagination, right? Still looks very fascinating, and I saw a third-party version of this, but it's sold out. That's around $300. Probably the third-party one cheaper than trying to get a vintage one unbroken. That's my look at the Voltron II Gladiator, and what do I think about it? I think that it is a niche, deep-cut collectible that only die-hard Voltron collectors are going to want. In fact, once you've bought everything Panache, everything else Matchbox made, then you might be like, okay, I want to get into this last Matchbox and get this one done. And with that, I don't have a link to where you could get this one. I don't even have a link where you can get the modern one that was made. And with that, that's sold out too. But it's one that would take you a while. I mean, unless you just bite the bullet, spend $800 and get one of those that someone's got on eBay, $800, $600 or something, a full set. If you want to get them for a good price, you're gonna have to probably buy them in lots here and there and just piece together a good solid one for yourself, and that's probably the best way to go. But let me know what you guys think about this. Did you even know about Voltron 2 prior to this video? And now that you know about it, is it something that interests you? Is something that you plan on picking up? Or is it just fun little bit of history that was fun to sort of learn about on this Retro Wednesday? Teddy Arm Hanger out.
を支配するデリンジャーの地球侵略の第一歩。
やんなっしゃい、もっと言ってやんなっしゃい。そんなあんただけでもやめなさい。離せ離せ、卑怯者。
君たちのよし、俺たちも